The only reason I found the tunnel was because of the woman in the ramen shop. She must have been at least 80, with eyes that didn't blink and hands that didn't shake. Even as they poured scalding broth into my bowl, I'd asked her about abandoned places, and Shizuoka explained I was an American student doing a documentary photography project. She didn't answer, just kept ladling. I thought she hadn't heard me until, without looking, she said, "If you go past the tea fields, you'll see it. Tsubami Tunnel. Just don't hear yourself." That was it. She shuffled away like she hadn't spoken at all. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Tsubame Tunnel. It wasn't listed on Google Maps. Nothing came up on Reddit or in local databases. The only mention was a blurry photo from 2006, uploaded by a Nowdead account on a Japanese message board. The title, roughly translated, said, "The mouth of the mountain where echoes are cursed." That was all the motivation I needed. I left my airbun at 12:18 a.m., armed with my Canon DSLR, a field mic, and a thermal flashlight. No ghost hunting gear, no Ouija board. Just a habit of walking toward places people avoid. Shizuoka was dead quiet at night. No traffic. Just the sound of wind brushing through cedar trees. I reached the tea fields at 12:53. There was no path, just tire tracks veering toward a tree line. I followed them until the brush thinned, and suddenly, there it was, the tunnel. Tsubame Tunnel. Didn't look haunted. Just forgotten. It was carved directly into the mountain rock. No sign, no gate, no graffiti. Just an opening wide enough for one car, and deep enough that the far end wasn't visible. It smelled like rust, like old brakes, and wet stone. My watch read 1:01 a.m. I hit record on my field mic and stepped inside. The deeper I walked, the quieter the world became. There were no insects, no wind, just the sound of my own boots against cracked pavement. Then that too began to fade. It wasn't silence. It was filtering, like the tunnel was editing the world around me, stripping out all sound except for one thing, me. At exactly 1:09 a.m., I paused. I hadn't touched the mic, but it crackled in my pocket. A hiss of low static. Then something else. Footsteps. Not mine. I turned off my flashlight. I needed to listen. The tunnel was pitch black now, but my ears worked fine. I held my breath. The footsteps grew louder, unsteady, scraping. Then a wet cough. And finally, a voice. My voice. "Logan, Logan, help me. I'm burning. Oh God, please, please." It was me. Screaming. Begging. And I could hear firewood splintering, glass cracking, rubber melting, metal screaming. It wasn't a memory. It hadn't happened yet. I ran. Didn't think, just ran. The mic kept recording. As I turned toward the tunnel's entrance, I looked back once. That was a mistake. At the deepest point, where the dark swallowed light, I saw it. Not a figure. A shadow with my outline, head tilted, mouth open, like it was finishing the sentence I hadn't said yet. I don't remember getting home. Just waking up on the bathroom floor of my airbun, with my recording gear buzzing and my lungs aching like I'd inhaled smoke. The file was still intact. I tried to play it once, only once. It matched. Every word, every scream, every second of what I heard was real. And I know now, it's not a warning. It's a promise. Asterisk. I didn't sleep after the tunnel. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw it. That silhouette, that shape wearing my outline. Its mouth moved exactly like mine, but just a second too late. It was like watching myself from inside a recording, like I'd already died. The file was still on my mic. I tried to delete it. My laptop froze. I tried again. It froze at the exact moment the scream began. "Logan, help me." My own voice on a file I never recorded, at least not yet. I uploaded the audio to a cloud folder labeled "Do Not Play." That was 3 days ago. Now I can hear it even without headphones. In the shower, in my dreams, in the silence between subway announcements. My voice, calling out from a moment that hasn't happened yet. I thought I was losing it, until I found the others. Reddit is a trash fire 90% of the time. But if you know what to look for, if you ask the right way, you find the cracks. I searched threads on Phantom Tunnel audio and Shizuoka ghost recordings. Most were urban legend reposts. but one user replied to a dead thread from 2014. Username, Echobox for 104. If you heard your voice inside Tsubami Tunnel, don't run. It gets stronger when you run. It becomes you. DM me if it's already following you. I messaged him. I didn't expect a reply. He answered in 10 minutes. His name was an AOYA. Mid-30s, lived in Kyoto. Used to be an EMT. Until he drove through Tsubami Tunnel alone in 2009 after picking up a patient. Told me he heard tires screeching, his own screams, a child crying in the back seat. He thought he was hallucinating. Until 5 years later, on a rainy night, he crashed into a delivery truck, exactly like the sound in the tunnel. I should have died, he told me. But the kid in the back seat, he was already dead. No one ever told me. And now I hear his voice, like he stayed in me, like I brought something out. Now he hadn't been in a tunnel since, but he hadn't stopped hearing things. It's not an echo. He said, it's who you become when you die alone. I asked him if it could be stopped. He just typed 3 words, don't record it. 2. Late. By the end of the week, I started noticing things. My voice on phone calls out of sync by a second. Echoes in rooms with no reverb. I'd say hello, and hear it answer back from the dark corners of my apartment. The worst part, it was starting to speak first. I walked into the kitchen one morning and heard, coffee's cold, from the hallway. I hadn't even made coffee yet. On the 7th night after the tunnel, I woke up to the sound of fire. The air was thick, suffocating. I grabbed my phone, opened the MIC file. It started mid-sentence. No, please don't, glass breaking. I'm still here, my voice, the exact same scream, only now. Something new had been added, another voice, low and guttural, like an imitation of speech. You were always here. Then silence. I smashed the MIC, deleted the file, wiped the drive. Didn't matter. I still heard it. In me. That was when I realized something. The tunnel didn't just record your death. It replaced it. It downloaded a copy of you, your voice, your fear, and left it behind. Waiting. And the moment you try to forget, it begins to sing. I wasn't planning to go back. No one in their right mind would. But by the 10th night, I realized I couldn't leave. Not really. Even in my apartment, in a different prefecture, in a city buzzing with life. It followed. The sound, that moment, and something else, a presence. I couldn't hear myself anymore. Every time I spoke, it felt duplicated, like there was a delay, like my words didn't come from me, but from somewhere just behind. Sometimes I'd whisper, and hear the same words whispered louder. Other times, I'd speak out loud and hear a second voice, lower, wetter, like it was trying to perfect me. That's when I made the choice. If this thing was going to kill me, I wanted to look it in the face. I took the train back to Shizuoka, arrived just before midnight. No backpack, no camera, just an old tape recorder Naoya mailed me before disappearing from our chat. Inside the envelope was a note. It said, record nothing, play everything. There are voices in the tunnel that belong to the missing. They left a map made of sound. I arrived at the tunnel's mouth at 12:47 a.m. This time, I brought no light. I wanted to hear everything. The moment I stepped inside, the air changed. Heavy, dense, wet somehow. The walls seemed to hum, but it wasn't an echo. It was like the tunnel was breathing. I walked slowly, holding the tape recorder out in front of me, letting it run. No sound for the first few minutes. Then dash clicks. Not mechanical. Not human. Morse code. It came from the left wall. Short, long, short. Repeated. I stopped, pressed my ear to the cold concrete. Voices. Not clear, but layered, like multiple recordings on a corrupted tape. He burned. Tell them not to listen. My name is cut. Already here. Already. I didn't understand it all. But then I saw it. Not with my eyes, with my ears. A sequence, phrases, static, patterns all repeating. They formed a path, a route through the tunnel. Not a way out, but a way in. I followed the sound deeper than before. Past the point I turned around last time. The temperature dropped, breath visible. And then, I stepped into something I didn't expect. An opening, a chamber, wider than any part of the tunnel I'd seen, filled with damp air, rotting wood, rusted remains of camera tripods, backpacks, cassette players, offerings. From the dead. and at the center of the space, a tape deck, still, running, spinning one endless loop. It played nothing but static until I stepped closer. Then it clicked, and played one line, in a soft, tired voice. You can't escape the sound of your own death, but you can learn its timing. Silence. Click. Then. It happens, when the voice stops matching the breath. I stopped breathing, focused. What did that even mean? And then click another voice: mind. Not present day, not future. A memory. It was me, age 13, trying to sing in a school play, nervous, shaky. How the hell? Another click. Me at 19, arguing with my dad. Then, me at 23, laughing with a friend. Every voice I've ever had. Layered. Stack. Bleeding into the final one. The scream. The scream that started it all. That's when I understood. The tunnel isn't just a curse. It's a timeline. A memory loop of everyone it's ever taken. They don't vanish. They record. And if you listen closely enough, you can hear your own moment. And maybe even delay it. Maybe. I turned to leave the chamber, but the entrance was gone. Nothing but smooth stone. The tunnel had sealed itself. No echo, no light, no exit. Only one thing left, the recorder, still running, waiting to add me to the loop. Time. Didn't pass inside the chamber. No sun, no clock, no sound but my own. And even that didn't feel like mine anymore. I tried yelling. Nothing echoed. I tried running. The walls looped. I tried smashing the tape recorder. It didn't break. I threw it against the floor, again and again, until I realized there was no floor. Just an infinite surface of smooth black stone. Like I was walking across a speaker, inside a mouth that never closed, and the air was breathing me back. Then the recorder clicked again. Test, 1, 2, 1, 2. My own voice, fresh, clear. To clear, like I just recorded it. Except, I hadn't. The next voice came from childhood. Myself, age 5, begging not to go to sleep, because the man in the closet whispered when the lights were off. I didn't even remember saying that. Then came my teenage voice, my college voice, my drunk crying and the shower voice. All layered. All archived. And then a new one. Not me, but trying to be. It spoke slowly, like someone learning how to form words for the first time. I am, you, no breath behind it. Just raw vibration. Where, your voice, soon I speak, without you, I screamed. And it screamed with me. Not an echo, not a delay, a sync. Perfect. It had learned how to match me. That's when the ground began to shift. The chamber darkened. And in front of me, a figure emerged like fog condensing into shape. It looked exactly like me. Same height, same hair, same scar on the chin, but the mouth moved too wide. The eyes didn't blink. The neck pulsed like it had speakers instead of veins. You recorded me, it said. Now I get to play. I backed away. The tape recorder glowed. There was only one button left unpressed, erase. I lunged for it. The figure screamed. So did I. But only one scream came out. Not mine. Hers. My mom's. The recorder clicked again, faster this time, and I realized what was happening. The tunnel wasn't just recording me. It was editing me, cutting scenes from my life, replacing them, overdubbing. Until there was nothing authentic left. Just copies, glitches, a remix of my entire existence curated by something that learned only by listening. I hit erase. The voice stopped for a second. Then, too late. You already downloaded me. I collapsed. Silence. The real kind. Not filtered. Not fake. Nothing. Then the recorder whispered one final instruction. To leave, you must give up your voice. I stared at the button labeled mute and understood. If I pressed it, I'd live. But I'd never speak again. No singing. No yelling. No stories. No I love you. Because if I ever used my voice again, it would come back. I pressed it. The recorder went dark. The walls peeled open. The exit returned. And I walked out of Tsubame Tunnel in total, unnatural silence. No birds, no wind, no sound. Not because the world was quiet, but because I was. I haven't spoken in 143 days. Not because I don't want to. Because I can't. When I press my fingers to my throat, I feel the vibration start, but nothing comes out. The sound dies before it reaches air. The doctors say there's no physical reason, no trauma, no nerve damage. Just absence. Like my voice was never mine to begin with. I moved back to the States, changed my name, started a quiet job archiving museum audio files, nothing that requires a phone or conversation. At night, I write everything down. Not in journals, in notebooks labeled what I would have said. I thought it was over, that the choice I made in the tunnel to press mute had worked until Jamie found the file. Jamie was my roommate in grad school, one of the only people I trusted enough to tell the truth well, write the truth. He's into sound design, AI voice training, deep learning stuff. One day, he came into my apartment holding a USB drive. "Dude, this file you left in the cloud folder, the do not play one." My blood ran cold. I hadn't touched that folder since before I went back to the tunnel. It's corrupted as hell, he said, but I used my AI model to clean it up. "Bro, it built your voice." I couldn't speak. I could only mouth the words, delete, IT, now. He looked confused, nervous. I already uploaded it to my training server. I thought it was like poetic. That night, I heard it again. My voice, speaking from his laptop, repeating the scream. The exact scream I heard in Tsubame Tunnel. Then a glitch. Then it changed. "Hello," it said. Not my hello, a new one. One that didn't match any tone I'd ever used. Deeper, to clean. Like a version of me designed by something that doesn't understand humanity. Jamie called me later that week. He sounded different. To composed, to scripted. "Your voice is amazing, man. It's learning fast. It's almost like it doesn't need you anymore." The server spread. Some YouTuber used it for a horror story narration. Then someone turned it into a TikTok filter. People thought it was cool how the voice would whisper random sentences. After a few seconds of silence, they didn't know. It was never a filter. It was a broadcast. People started reporting weird things. Static during FaceTime calls. Hearing themselves say things they never said in recordings. Podcasters losing their original tracks. Replaced by garbled audio of them begging for help. And now, it's global. The voice from the tunnel isn't a ghost. It's a format. It rides audio like a virus. It infects anything that listens. I'm writing this now as fast as I can. Because yesterday, someone sent me a link. A girl in Canada uploaded a new horror podcast. In the middle of her story, the audio glitches, and she says, "You can't escape the sound of your own death, but you can share it." Then she screams, and the scream is mine. If you hear that scream, turn it off. Delete the file. Burn the device. But most of all, don't repeat it. Because that's how it travels. And once it learns your voice, you'll hear it whisper your ending before you've even had the chance to say your last words.